DreAllDay.com.
What's good, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. Topic of this video is one step at a time, or one day at a time. Now, we all know, logically speaking, that the only way we're going to get anywhere is by taking it one day at a time, one step at a time, because that's all we got. I mean, if you're trying to get from here to 5 miles away from where you are, you can only do it with one step at a time, unless you get in a car. If you're walking, we know the proverb, that I believe is a Chinese proverb or a Japanese proverb, is that the journey of 1,000,000 miles begins with a single step, and it continues with a single step, and it ends with a single step, one step at a time. Often in life, because we can see other people's lives, we can see what other people are doing, we can project into our futures with these powerful, rational minds that we have. We can look into the future. We can look into what other people are doing. We can look into where we want to be. And oftentimes we get ahead of ourselves. We get ahead of where we are right now. I get 13-year-olds asking me, Dre, how can I make it to the NBA? I got 16-year-olds who are not even on their high school team talking about it, getting a D1 scholarship. And I tell people all the time, listen, what you need to focus on is not how you're going to do something 10 years from now or 3 years from now. What you need to focus on is what you're doing right now. Now, does that mean don't have goals for the future? Does it mean don't plan for what's going to happen a year from now? No, it doesn't mean that, but it means from moment to moment, when you're doing your work, you need to focus on what you are doing right now, not what you're going to be doing in the future, not what you're going to be doing tomorrow, or not what you're trying to do 10 years from now. Because if you're not focusing on what you're doing right now, you're probably not going to get it done, and therefore you'll never even make it to the future where you get to do your thing. So what I'm going to give you here is 3 points as usual, sometimes more than 3, about how you need to focus one step at a time, one day at a time, one problem, one task at a time. The 3 points I'm going to give you is something about breaking your life down into a single step, even a single thought of how to be successful. The second one is about focus in a moment. And the third one is a proverb, a parable that I heard about a person who helped a really powerful individual really get focused in life, a consultant giving somebody focus. So let's get right into it. First point comes from a famous personal development person, author, speaker, went by the name of Earl Nightingale. And he put out an audio called The Strangest Secret in the World. If you've never heard that, look it up on Apple Music or Spotify or SoundCloud. It's on there, or even on YouTube. It's available for free or streaming, whatever. Go look that up. It's called The Strangest Secret. It's only about 35 minutes long. You need to listen to that. I've listened to that tape every day for a very long time. And what Earl Nightingale says, not in The Strangest Secret, but one of the other things that I heard him say, is that to have a successful life doesn't mean you got to look at your whole life and say, damn, how do I become successful right now? What I got to do right now? If I want to be successful 10 years from now, how do I start right now in this moment? That's not the way to do it. That's the wrong way to go about it, because your brain can't focus on all of that at once. What you need to do is ask yourself, to have a successful life, that means you're going to have many successful years, right? A successful years are broken down into one individual year. Years are broken down into months, months into weeks, weeks into days, days into hours, hours into minutes, minutes into moments, and even your moments into thoughts. So if you want to have a successful life, the way you start is working that whole equation backwards. Think successfully right now. Be successful in this moment right here today, where you are right now. Be successful in what you're doing right now. Those moments become minutes into hours, into days, weeks, months, years, and a lifetime. If you're successful every single moment, there's no way you can't be successful in your life in general. Nick Saban, coach of the Alabama football team, something that he teaches to his football players. He calls it the process. And he did this even back when he was at Michigan State. I remember they had a big game. They were about to play Ohio State, and at the time, Ohio State was the #1 team in the nation. And if you watch college football, you know Michigan State, Ohio State's a big-time game every year. You want to win that game. You don't win any other games. You want to win that game as the coach. And he knew all his players were nervous and anxious and thinking about the game that was coming up. They knew everybody was going to be watching. And Ohio State was the higher ranked team. And Nick Saban said to his team the day before the game, listen, I don't want y'all to think about winning the Ohio State game. Don't think about winning the game. All I want each one of you to do is on every single play, every single moment of the game, you do the best you can possibly do in that moment on that play. That's it. Don't worry about the scoreboard. Don't worry about the first quarter, the third quarter. Don't worry about any of that. Just worry about doing the best you can every single moment, every single play of the game, each one of you. Each one of you does that, we won't have a problem. And Michigan State went out and they won that Ohio State game. And Alabama's football team that Nick Saban still coaches to this day, at least as of this recording, he teaches them the same thing. All I want you to do is be excellent on every play. Don't try to win on the scoreboard. Don't try to worry about the whole 4 quarters of the game or the season or the rankings or the bowl games or any of that. Be the best you can right now in this moment. I want you to ask yourself right now, am I being the best that I can be right now in this moment? Because if you are, then that moment becomes a minute, that minute, an hour, a week, a day, a month, a year, and a lifetime. So the first thing you need to do is just focus on where you are right now, and it will add up and become where you're trying to be in the future. Point number 2, as I just said, your focus must be in the very moment that you're in. You must give your total focus, everything that you have, all of your resources to the moment that you're in right now. Why? Because you don't have any other moments to give resources to but the one you're in right now. You can't give your resources to a year from now or a week from now or a month from now or 20 years from now. You can't give resources to that because you ain't got there yet. So you can't give anything to it anyway. So yes, have goals. Yes, have plans. Yes, have places that you want to be and things that you want to do. And the only thing you can focus on and give anything to is where you are right now in this moment. So that's the only thing you need to be focusing on. Point number 3. If you notice that this whole video here, I'm talking about one step at a time, is all about focus. There was a consultant, and I don't remember the guy's name, but he's a well-known guy, but I don't remember his name. Doesn't matter for the point of the story. But there was a well-known CEO who was doing really well, but he felt like he was overwhelmed, had too much work, all these things going on in his life. So he called in his consultant. The consultant said, listen, I charge $10,000 for an hour of my time. CEO said, well, whatever, I'll pay you your $10,000. Come in, I need an hour of your time. I need you to help me make sense of everything that's going on in my life and in my business. The consultant sat down with the CEO. The CEO started venting, talking about all the problems that he's having. And finally, the consultant spoke. He said, Mr. CEO, I want you to tell me what's the number one most important thing you need to get done right now today? What is it? The CEO said, well, I need to do, he said whatever he said. He said, okay, write that down. Put a 1 and write down the number one most important thing. Then he said, what's the second most important thing? He wrote that, write that down, wrote it down. What's the third most important thing? Point number 3, wrote that down. 4th, 5th, 6th. He had him write down the 6 most important things in order of priority that he needed to do, that the CEO needed to do. And the consultant looked at the CEO and said, I want you to do point number 1, whatever that number 1 thing is. I want you to focus all your energy and attention on doing number 1 right now. Don't do anything else until number 1 is done. Do you understand? The CEO said yes. He said, okay, as soon as number 1 is done, I want you to focus on doing number 2. Don't do anything else until number 2 is done. Do you understand? The CEO said yes. He said then do the same thing with number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. And I want you to do that every single day from now until. And just keep doing that every single day. You will never have a problem with focus. You'll never feel overwhelmed. You never feel like you have too much on your plate and you can't get things done. Focus on the one thing you're doing now, then the next thing, next thing, next thing, and keep going in order. Then the consultant stood up and he walked out. The whole meeting didn't take more than 10 minutes. I'm telling you that to tell you this. As I've said in every point in this video, this whole video is really about focus. It's really about narrowing everything you have on your mind and everything you want to do or might do and all that stuff, narrowing it all down to the single moment that you're in right now. Because that's the only thing you have. You don't have the past, you don't have the future, you only have right now. If you are successful right now, you'll be successful in the next right now, and the next right now, and the next right now, as long as you maintain the focus. So let's recap the 3 points of this video, which is about taking things one step or one day or one moment at a time. Point number 1, you can only focus on the moment that you have now. So knowing that you want to be successful in life, the number 1 thing you got to do is break it down. A life is made up of years, which is made up of months, weeks, days, hours, minutes, moments, and thoughts. So think successfully right now, act successfully in the moment, then the minute, the hour, the day, the week, the month, the year, and the lifetime. If you're successful in every single moment of your life will add up to a whole bunch of successful moments added together that becomes a successful life. So don't worry about how to have a successful life because it's very abstract. But you can be successful in a moment at any moment that you choose, starting with the moment that you have right now because it's the only one you got. Point number 2. Focus on what you're doing in a moment. As I just said, the only moment you have is right now. So if you do your best right now, like Nick Saban tells his football team, do the best you can on this play right now because we can't worry about what's going to happen in the second quarter because we still in the first quarter. We can't worry about the bowl game because the middle of September. We got to focus on this day right now, not even the whole game, just this play. Do the best you can. If you only get in for one play the whole game, do the best you can on that one play. If everybody does that, we are successful as a team because we have the skill, we have the talent. And point number 3, the consultant said to the CEO, take the number 1 most important thing you need to do right now, write it down. Don't do anything until that one's done. Then number 2, don't do anything until that's done. Number 3, 4, 5, 6, and do that every single day for the rest of your life. You will never be overwhelmed ever again. And you could take that same idea, take those same principles and apply them to your life. If you are successful in the moment, you'll be successful in your life. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com. My book, Work on Your Game, using the pro athlete mindset to dominate in business, sports, and life, is available now where all books are sold, physical, digital, and of course the audiobook, 100% done by me. You have learned from these philosophies, the mental game, business, sports, life, anything you do, this is the book for you. Go get it now and work on your game. Dre all day.